Nobody denies that women are the chief moral agencies of the world today, working to uplift the world to better things. But they need more power to effect their purpose. Frances Griffin spoke these words on June 10, 1901, before the members of Alabama's Constitutional Convention. Griffin was born and raised in Wetumpka, Alabama, and educated at Judson College. After graduation, she became a teacher in Montgomery, where she also later became involved with the Women's Christian Temperance Union, which sought to prohibit the sale and consumption of alcohol. Griffin became a renowned speaker on behalf of the cause. She traveled around the South and won support and praise wherever she spoke. Like many other women of the Progressive era, Griffin was frustrated by the limited influence she wielded in politics. Without the vote, women could not affect the actions of legislators. Griffin was not alone in this view. Susan B. Anthony called temperance, the anti-child labor movement, and other reforms the kindred subjects to suffrage because of the connection between voting rights and legislative reform. Believing that only suffrage would give women enough power to fix the problems of the world, Griffin became an ardent supporter of votes for women. She founded a suffrage association in Verbena, the second group in the state after the first established in New Decatur. These and other local societies eventually combined to form the Alabama Woman Suffrage Association. Griffin became its first secretary and later served as its president. During her time as leader of the state organization, Griffin saw a unique opportunity to achieve the goal of women's suffrage in Alabama's 1901 Constitutional Convention. But the delegates who gathered in Montgomery to write the new governing document were primarily focused on disenfranchising citizens, taking the vote away from black and poor white men, rather than extending the vote to women. Still, Griffin persisted. She lobbied individual delegates, trying to convince them to give the vote to educated white women, and she was allowed the opportunity to speak to the convention. When she addressed the delegates on June 10, 1901, Frances Griffin became the first woman recognized to speak before an Alabama governing body. She dismantled the anti-suffrage argument that women would lose their silent influence if they won the vote by pondering, "Have you ever heard of a man asking to be disenfranchised to increase his influence?" Crafting arguments about female taxpayer representation, she claimed that women deserve to be on the same equal footing as male citizens. Justice was at the root of her argument. "The man without a vote is a subject, not a citizen," she told the delegates. "The woman without a vote is an inferior, not an equal. So long as laws affect both men and women together should make those laws." Despite her efforts, the delegates chose not to extend the right to vote to women in the new state constitution. Nevertheless, Frances Griffin continued to fight for women's equality in ways great and small until her death in 1917.